sentiment. So far, still things have remained very peaceful in this group, and I haven't felt those tensions building like I have in the past couple nights.
Drew, have you had a chance to talk to any of these protesters at all? I'm just wondering, who they are and why they're there today, if they've shared kind of their own personal story.
Yeah, I've talked to a few. So I talked to a husband
Burnside
and a wife,
Bridge.
and they told me that they wanted to come out. They basically told me that they felt if you weren't out here marching with this group or trying to affect change, then you were complicit in police brutality and the injustices that Black Americans face. So they really felt that they needed to come out here and have their presence shown. And then I also spoke to a mother and a daughter who were out here, and the daughter told me that since she's underage and can't vote, she felt like this was her way to try and affect change in America, because her vote, she can't do that right now. So she felt like she needed to be out with this group to have her voice heard. And the mother told me the same thing. She wanted to see police joining in on these protests, actually, is what she told me. She said that she wished that they would put down the riot gear and come out and join, because she feels that that would really send a message of solidarity. But they just said that they were out here because they felt that this was their best way to try and affect change here in America, was coming out here and joining with this group and having their voices heard.
Drew, just so you know, where the head of this group is right now, they are just about to get over the water of the Willamette. They're on the bridge. They're just reaching the water area as they're on the east side of the Burnside Bridge right now.
And we're just about to get on the bridge, so we're a little behind the front of this group.
Okay. Drew, we know that members of the Portland Police liaison team are still working with a lot of people in that group that you're in right now. They say that it's peaceful, but have you seen anything at all get out of hand? Anyone there clash with police?
No, definitely no clashes with police. The only thing I did see, again, was a car that drove into the crowd out here. It was very strange. Nobody knew where it came from or why they were doing it, but a car did try to drive through the crowd. It didn't hit anybody or hurt anybody, but that is the only thing that I've seen remotely get out of hand out here.
And you're not seeing police officers either, really, are you?
No, I have not seen police in several hours since we really started marching east on Burnside. But since then, I have not seen any police.
Okay, Drew, we're going to keep you close by, but we've got Camilla Ortiz on the other side of the bridge, and she was with those protesters over at the Justice Center earlier. Camilla, what's it like there? The last time we saw you, protesters were scattered all over the place.
Yeah, Wayne, and that's still the case. So we were trying to kind of follow little clusters of people. We're at Southwest 6th and Yamhill right now, and everyone's just dispersed. We're really not even look around here. This is Pioneer Courthouse Square, and we're not really seeing anybody here right now. So it's a matter of waiting. I think some of the protesters know that this large group is coming this way, so I think it's joining up with them and kind of seeing what happens from there. But I haven't seen the cruisers drive past here in a while. It's been pretty quiet, but it's amazing how much that tear gas lingers. I mean, sometimes you'll just turn down a block and it'll be there.
They're almost halfway across the bridge.
There's definitely protesters around, but we're just kind of standing by and waiting. It's been very scattered just the last 45 minutes.
Yeah, well, understandable. I mean, if I was one of those protesters on that side,
they're almost
of the bridge,
halfway across the
I would be
bridge,
making
and they're
my way
not
close
even
to
done
Burnside
getting
and
onto
kinda
the bridge.
get in with this group that's coming, the mass of people that's coming. So perhaps we'll see them do some of that.
Camilla, we saw that there was a clash there at the Justice Center.
That's a huge
with
bridge,
water
dude.
bottles being thrown, and then the tear gas was deployed. Have you seen anything else since then, really?
I mean, so just now, like I said, we were walking by, we're just kind of walking back towards the Justice Center now, but we just passed the Pioneer Courthouse, and that's federally protected, so we saw some officers.
Did they just stop walking?
And we did see a couple men yelling at them, kind of waving their skateboards at them, so there's definitely just every once in a while you'll see a few people directing a lot of anger towards the police, but generally speaking, I haven't seen that much. It just seems to be a small group of people that seems to be kind of instigating that anger.
Okay, Camilla, keep track of things there. I'm sure you'll probably get this large group of protesters as they make their way toward you. I assume that's probably something that they're going to be doing Again,
look
you're
like
looking live
ants.
right now as we begin to start to lose a little bit of daylight here. Mark was mentioning on the air, Mark Nelson, our weather guy, the other day, that this is approaching some of the longest days of the year, and close to summer solstice here in another
Yeah.
3 weeks or so. And
Yeah.
here we are, 9:05 in the evening.
And it's still light.
Still light outside, yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting to see. So, if you are just joining us, it's the top of the hour. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of protesters right now crossing the Burnside Bridge, heading toward the downtown area. We're keeping a close eye on this. So far, this protest has been peaceful. It's a lot of marchers out there holding signs. They've stopped several times to have moments of silence out there. There are people of all age just out there for different reasons, but the main message they're wanting to send is justice for George Floyd, the unarmed black man who was killed in police custody in Minneapolis not too long ago. So this protest over here that you're looking at on the right side of your screen, it's been peaceful. It started at Laurelhurst Park. They walked for a few miles, 4 or 5 miles, headed toward downtown. And overall, it's been, as I mentioned, peaceful. There are members of Portland Police actually in this crowd working with the organizers and with the protesters, trying to keep things peaceful, wanting to work with them and wanting them to be able to march and express themselves, but at the same time stay safe and not hurt each other, not hurt police, and not hurt property in downtown Portland like we have seen the
They're
last
almost
couple
over.
of nights. So it will be interesting. We're watching because they're headed downtown, and that's where we saw some.
They're almost
clashes
over
near
the
Justice
bridge.
Center. That's where we saw so many officers out there deploying tear gas not that long ago.
What a picture on a Sunday night. You got the white.
Oh God, there's a
sign,
line of
Portland
cops.
sign off in the
Yeah.
distance as possibly a few thousand protesters cross the Burnside Bridge, leading into what will be downtown Portland. And on the left side of the screen, you see kind of the head of the march there from Air 12 looking down. Looks as though they're slowing up.
Oh my God.
Not sure why.
Don't know if they're waiting for some of the group to catch up, but on the left side of your screen, you can see police sort of standing there ready to go, ready to be deployed anywhere they're needed in the city. And that has been the case where if there is an issue, police will pop up there in a few minutes or even less and disperse the crowd, disperse the issue, and then kind of hang back until there is another issue to address.
Yeah, it looks as though, I was just waiting to see when they pulled back to see if this was on the bridge. So
Yeah.
there's a large police presence right there on what I believe to be the west side of the Burnside Bridge, which you've got the protesters heading that way. I have not heard from Portland Police on social media or from anything that we've heard in our newsroom that they're going to try to prevent the marchers from coming into downtown Portland. But if they were, this would be the place to do it. But it looks as though they're pulling back.
It seems, yeah, that seems to be the case. Not too long ago, Portland Police said on their social media account that the liaison team is working with them. They're proceeding westbound toward downtown in what is now a peaceful march, is what they said. So it seems like they're not going to be stopped from coming into the city, especially if they stay peaceful like this. But we'll see, because there are a few people downtown that haven't been peaceful, and we don't know if they're going to join this group or if it's going to be an
A
excuse
few people
to
downtown
act
who
out
haven't
again.
been peaceful
We don't know.
while the
And out of
police were
thousands of
throwing tear
protesters, I mean, what
gas.
does it take to really mess things up? You know,
Just a couple people.
a few dozen at the
Flashbangs.
most, you know, and that's kind of what we saw on Friday. The vast majority, I think, would agree that the protesters were out there to send a message. They were angry. There's no doubt about that. And they had a reason to be. But it only takes a few of them to start, you know, breaking windows and that kind of thing to kind of change the message, you know, of what the majority is trying to get across.
Absolutely. And the message, it seems like it's been unity in this crowd, and we've seen
Yes.
them move through not just city streets, we've seen them move through residential neighborhoods. We've seen people hanging out of their bedroom windows and cheering them on and holding up signs, and it seems like this group is really gathered and unified toward this message, and not everyone wants to do that when they go downtown and protest, and that's when unfortunately we see some violence and destruction to some of the buildings and local businesses anyway. So right now we're seeing them cross the Burnside Bridge. They are headed toward downtown Portland. We saw a heavy police presence there on the opposite end of the bridge, but we're not exactly sure what the game plan is once they move toward the city.
I just want to give a shout out to our reporters and our photographers on the ground as well. Drew said that he thought that they walked already about 5 miles, which maybe is not a big deal, but this is the third night in a row I know he's been out there logging a lot of miles. I'd like to see his Fitbit, see how many steps he's had over the past 3 nights, because there's been a lot of walking going on.
A lot of walking. They're moving. They're on the move there, and there's a lot of people there as well.